But yeah, let's get into this. And this just kind of hijacked everything. Reports out there right now, the Lions and Amon-Ra St. Brown are in discussions on a new contract that could pay him up to $25 million per year for at least 3 years. And that comes to us courtesy of Cam Marino. And, you know, it's one of those things where if they're able to get that done, Flannel, this is just another example. Here's why I buy into this core. And to give you some reference on that, like the $25 million a year thing, A.J. Brown's 4 at 100. So he's essentially getting A.J. Brown money. I'll take him over A.J. Brown. There's a gap between Amon-Ra St. Brown and A.J. Brown.
I don't know if I would say that. But
There's a gap.
They're at least comparable. If A.J. Brown gets $25 million, I actually think Amon-Ra for $25 per is, it's a good deal. He was first-team All-Pro last year. Not only was he first-team All-Pro, he was first-team All-Pro over A.J. Brown, over Jamar Chase, over Stephon Diggs, and over Devontae Adams. I'm not trying to discredit any of those guys. It's just Amon-Ra St. Brown had one of the greatest wide receiver seasons any Lion has ever had. And presumably, especially given the type of wide receiver he is and how he fits with Jared Goff, who is also probably the quarterback of the future, $25 million per for Amon-Ra St. Brown, I feel like, at least right now, that's not a bad deal at all. That's one that is somewhat cost-effective given the caliber of player he is.
Yeah, well, I mean, and again, that's 3 years. I don't. They said at least 3 years is the starting point. So again, we'll see how it goes. But again, I like that. That seems very affordable for Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Number one, he's become your number one. We have to just call it what it is. So for that kind of money, absolutely, you lock him down for that.
No, and it's pretty simple too. Where, look, we know Justin Jefferson's deal is coming soon. His camp's already talking about it. Hey, we got to know what the deal is with the Vikings. What's our plan at quarterback before I sign this deal and all that kind of stuff. His deal's going to start with a 3.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to start with a 3 per.
Yeah.
So Amon-Ra at 25 seems to slot very nicely.
Absolutely. Amon-Ra St. Brown at $25 million per year is a good deal, and I wouldn't mind if the Lions were to make it right now in this offseason, even if it prevented the Lions from making a bigger splash amongst free agents. Wrapping up Amon-Ra St. Brown, or locking down Amon-Ra St. Brown to a cost-effective deal. He's one of the best players on the team. He's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. And like I said, his style of play fits really well with what this offense wants to do, with what Jared Goff's strengths are. And to really put the cherry on top, Amon-Ra St. Brown showed out in the playoffs. Nobody doubted that he would, but his playoff numbers, at least on a per-game basis, were basically what his regular season numbers were. So that was the cherry on top when it came to a lot of players, how they performed in the playoffs. And Amon-Ra St. Brown was certainly no exception.
And it is too. And the Ron in 99 says we had $70 million in dead cap money when Brad and Disner took over. And again, that's why I said, like, people like, why do you simp so hard for Brad Holmes? Because I don't think that people, again, fully understand the depth of where this organization was. And this ties into the Yzerman thing. Like, the people that are critical of Yzerman, you act like he was dropped into an expansion franchise that had clean, everything was clean. There were clean books and everything. It was worse than an expansion franchise because you had Trey Flowers, and I'll say this till the day I die. Trey Flowers, Jamie Collins, Jelani Tavai, $19 million to not play. They paid him $19 million of their cap space to not play. Roughly right around 10% of the total cap that year to not play. That's what he was parachuted into.
Yeah, and I think when people say that you're a Brad Holmes simp, I think simp is a term that is thrown about a little bit too much, because if somebody is worthy of people simping you, then I don't think you're really necessarily a simp. I mean, the reality is that Brad Holmes has done as good of a job with the Detroit Lions as you could have ever have dreamed of. 3-13-1 in 2021 with all of the cap issues with Jelani Tavai and Trey Flowers and Jamie Collins, to a NFC Championship game appearance where they had a 17-point lead at halftime, going into an offseason where you have the cap space, where if you wanted to make a big free agency splash at positions of need, you could do it. If you want to lock down Amon-Ra St. Brown and Amon-Ra St. Brown plus other guys to a longer-term deals, you can do it. So yeah, Brad Holmes is absolutely a miracle worker, and there's nothing wrong with being a Brad Holmes simp. You're not a Brad Holmes simp. He's just been the best GM that your team has ever had.
Right, and again, when you're starving and someone gives you a cracker, to quote Eddie Murphy in Delirious, it's the best cracker you've ever eaten in your life.
But it's more than a cracker, though.
Right,
That's the
this is
thing.
a full-on sandwich.
Yes, this is the full-on
This
sandwich.
is Spencer Raxter sandwich. There's Dijon.
Yeah.
What else we got on there?
Salami, orange red mustard,
Havarti cheese.
Havarti cheese, some prosciutto,
Oh, gabagool.
Gabagool,
Spencer Raxter, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, pay him whatever he wants. Pay him whatever
Seriously.
he wants. As long as Amon-Ra St. Brown is a Lion for the rest of his career, I'm happy. He is the straw that stirs the drink. He is the definition of grit. He is the Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell quintessential player. He doesn't talk about not getting targets, doing that. All he does is work his ass off and produce results. You pay that man whatever he wants.
Exactly. It plays with a chip on his shoulder. For some reason, Mufaletta getting a lot of run in the
Mufaletta.
the party sub.
Not a party sub.
No, it's a party sub.
No, it's not.
We went over that.
It's not a sub. It's a circular sandwich.
Art Vandelay. What is that, a Ritz? It is the greatest guy I've ever had. No, it is. It's a lot of fun.